Good morning. Morning. I'm Pastor Jill. For those I have not officially met yet, we are glad that you are here with us this morning to celebrate Easter Sunday. Sorry about my mic. It's usually taped to my face, those who know. All right. So today's Easter. So whenever you hear, "He is risen," your response is, "He is risen indeed." Ready? He is risen. Amen. So the past month, we've been talking about patience. And we've talked about the things that we're really excited for and we can't wait. I know some of you are going on vacation soon, or perhaps you have been on vacation and you're really thinking, wow, I waited for so long for that, now it's over, right? Or you're still waiting with anticipation for that. Now, my son and I are going to Disney World in a few weeks. And I know that he's very excited and asking, when's that going to happen? Is it tomorrow? No. So we have to wait. But now it's Easter Sunday, and those things that we have been waiting for as far as our faith journey, we've had a long Lent, we've wandered through the desert, we've been impatient, and now Jesus rises from the dead to give us peace. So we're going to watch our video that talks about John's Gospel and the story of the resurrection in that book of the Bible. Let's go ahead.
The Resurrection, from John chapter 20. Early on the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb and saw that the stone had been removed from the entrance. So she came running to Simon Peter and the other disciple, the one Jesus loved, and said, "They have taken the Lord out of his tomb, and we don't know where they have put him." So Peter and the other disciple started for the tomb. Both were running, but the other disciple outran Peter and reached the tomb first. He bent over and looked in at the strips of linen lying there, but did not go in. Then Simon Peter came along behind him and went straight into the tomb. He saw the strips of linen lying there, as well as the cloth that had been wrapped around Jesus' head. The cloth was still lying in its place, separate from the linen. Finally, the other disciple, who had reached the tomb first, also went inside. He saw and believed. They still did not understand from Scripture that Jesus had to rise from the dead. Then the disciples went back to where they were staying. Now Mary stood outside the tomb crying. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb and saw two angels in white seated where Jesus' body had been, one at the head and the other at the foot. They asked her, "Woman, why are you crying?" "They have taken my Lord away," she said, "and I don't know where they have put him." At this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not realize that it was Jesus. He asked her, "Woman, why are you crying? Who is it you are looking for?" Thinking he was the gardener, she said, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have put him, and I will get him." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned toward him and cried out in Aramaic, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said, "Do not hold on to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. Go instead to my brothers and tell them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went to the disciples with the news, "I have seen the Lord," and she told them that he had said these things to her. On the evening of that first day of the week, when the disciples were together with the doors locked for fear of the Jewish leaders, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." After he said this, he showed them his hands and side. The disciples were overjoyed when they saw the Lord. Now Thomas, also known as Didymus, one of the 12, was not with the disciples when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, "We have seen the Lord." But he said to them, "Unless I see the nail marks in his hands, and put my finger where the nails were, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe." A week later, his disciples were in the house again, and Thomas was with them. Though the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here. See my hands? Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe." Thomas said to him, "My Lord and my God." Then Jesus told him, "Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." Jesus performed many other signs in the presence of his disciples, which are not recorded in this book. But these are written that you may believe that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name.
All right. So let's talk about Mary Magdalene for a second. She came to the tomb, and what happened? Jesus was gone. The stone was rolled away. Who was there? Who did she see? Angels, that's right. And then what happened? The other disciples ran away, and then she was there by herself. And then who did she see? But she thought he was a what? A gardener. That's my favorite part of the story. Everybody's wondering, why didn't she recognize who Jesus was at first? And somebody once said that maybe she thought he was the gardener because he had what under his fingernails? Dirt. Do you think that the tomb was dirty? I think it was. So maybe she thought he was the gardener at first because he was dirty. He had dirt under his nails. A lot of times at church on Easter, we like to think of Jesus as really clean and white and pure and all these things. But he'd probably been through it, right? But the most important thing is that Jesus offers Mary peace. He tells her to go ahead, tell people the good news, and she ran to the disciples. And then later in the video, we saw Thomas, who had to see Jesus himself to believe, right? But when Jesus comes to them, he says, "Peace I give to you. Peace be among you." And so I want you to know today that whatever what's going on in your life, if you're stressed out, if you're having a hard time, or if you're in a good place, always remember that Jesus is God's gift of peace to us and brings life out of the worst possible situation. Let us pray. God, we give you thanks for Easter Sunday, for the gift of Jesus, for the gift of peace. May we go forward to live as peaceful people, knowing that we live with the joy of the risen Christ. Amen. He is risen. Amen.